The spine matrix is by far one of the most comprehensive ways to move your spine for everyday health and fitness. What I'm going to show you how to do is accomplish the spine matrix with a reach rather than waving the arms. So what we're first going to do is we're going to explore in the sagittal plane of motion. So what you want to do is you're going to take both hands and you're going to first let your spine collapse down a little bit, but then you're going to reach your arms up overhead as tall as you can. And the name of the game here is stretching the belly. You want to create as much separation between your pelvis and your rib cage as possible in all three planes. So again, I let the hands lower, I let my spine collapse and relax, and now I'm going to reach the hands up really tall. And after I lengthen them as high as I can start to reach back a little bit. Don't go so far back that you feel pinching in your back. Okay, find your threshold and stay where you're successful. After I go through that a handful of times, I'm then going to twist my upper body to the right. From here, what I want to do is now I'm going to relax my arms again. I'm going to allow my spine to collapse. I'm going to reach my arms up and back, really tall, make a long belly, and then see if I can get any reach back. I'm going to run through that variation a handful of times. Then I'm going to twist my shoulders in the opposite direction. I'm going to allow the spine to collapse and relax, reach the hands up and back as high as I can overhead. Now, if you're having issues with this, you can always explore doing it with a single arm. When you use a single arm, there's a bias toward rotation. So you may reach with a single arm up and back and notice that you rotate a little bit, and that is completely fine. So if you're having difficulty with two hands, go to a single arm. Now, in the frontal plane of motion, what you're going to want to do is take one arm, reach it up as high as you can to the ceiling. Now you'll notice when I do this, I'm getting complete separation through the rib cage and through the core. And as I reach up, I get a side bending of my spine. Now, as this side comes down, what I want to do is take the other side like a seesaw and reach up as high as I can. After I reach as high as I can to distract my spine, I'm going to reach over a little bit to create more mobility through the rib cage. It's more important that you go higher and not as far over. So get the height first, then you can start your reach over. The same way we did in the sagittal plane, we want to use a similar strategy. I'm going to rotate my shoulders to my right, and then from this position I want to keep my shoulders on this plane, and I'm going to reach one arm up as high as I can overhead, stretch and distract, and then keep my shoulders on the same plane, high as I can overhead. After you go through that 3 to 5 times each side, you want to switch directions, reach as high as you can overhead, stretch and distract, other side, as high as I can overhead. Now from there, what you can do is you want to rotate, and again we're using a reach. So I can reach one hand out across my body, but as I do that, I'm using my opposite hand to pull back. So as I reach my right hand across my body, I use my left hand to pull back at the same time. So I get a maximum reach out in one direction and then in the other direction. Now in the transverse plane, meaning with rotation, the tweak that I'm going to use is what's called a verticality tweak. So I'm going to reach out at shoulder height, but now I want to reach lower, so let's say I reach to hip height. So I reach down and across my body as I pull the opposite arm up and back, and then I reach down and across my body as I pull my opposite arm up and back. So my arms are still moving in exact opposite directions. And when you do this properly, you'll feel an immense stretch come through the core. It feels really nice. Now what I want to do is I want to reach my arm up and across my body as I pull my opposite arm down and back. Reach the opposite arm up and out as I pull the opposite arm down and back. So you go through that, that's your spinal reach matrix. When you get finished with that, you should feel really tall. Know that you've definitely done something awesome for your spine, especially if you sit all day. Hope you enjoy this. If you have any questions, ask your trainer.